Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to LLB with Fatah Khan. LLB stands for Legendary Leadership Bites with Fatah Khan. Hi, I'm Fatah Khan, a mid career transformation coach, a podcaster, a dream career mentor, and also an author and a TEDx speaker. And why did I start this LLB with Fatah Khan? The reason is I have been in the corporate world for 17 long years, in which 7+ years I spent in the leadership roles, and I realized leadership is not easy, but it is tough, but it can be learned and can be mastered so that a mid-career professional who is aspiring to be a leader or somebody who is already a leader can grow to become a legendary leader. And that's where I realized a lot of pain during my leadership role. And after I moved out from the corporate world, when I started working on my passion and my purpose to coach mid-career professionals, I realized there is a huge need for leadership, and that is where I can contribute in helping mid-career professionals to transform into legendary leaders. With that intent, I started not only this particular podcast but also other initiatives. But one of the biggest initiative is this one, where it is about leadership and how do you transform into a legendary leader. With that, what is today's topic? Today's topic is a very important topic for leadership, because we know leadership is a lot about handling teams, handling people, right? It's all about working with people. So today's topic is what makes the highest performing teams in the world. Now, we all as leaders, we would want a high performing team, right? We aspire to have a high performing team, and a high performing team is the one which can get success to the organization. But how do we do that? How do we actually make any team a high performing team in the world? What are the basic principles, right, that can help all of us to actually go ahead and create that? And is it possible? Yes, of course it's possible, right? And are we going to talk about the tactics here? No, I'm going to talk mainly about the principles which will remain green, evergreen, and which can be utilized at any point of time in your life. And of course, there are a lot of tactics, strategies that can be used, but I'm going to share the five basic principles which can help you to actually make the highest performing teams in the world. What are these principles? Right? Let's deep dive into this, where the first principle is shared vision and purpose. Now, think of this: the world's highest performing teams, right? They should have a crystal clear vision and purpose, because teams will not perform high not just because they understand what they need to do, but they will perform high and they will stay motivated. They will stay all the time inspired to take more actions, to do more for the organization when they are connected with the why. So it is not about the how, it is about the why. That's where the leadership coach Simon Sinek says, start with why. Any leader, right, always starts with why, because the why is what? The why is the reason. When you have a stronger reason, a compelled mission and vision that can keep people aligned to it, that's where people feel motivated and inspired. That's why, as a leader, you should have a strong vision and mission. And when there is a shared vision and a purpose, the team will feel aligned towards it, and the team will feel like doing more and performing to the best. And that is the ground rule. That is the basic principle which, as a leader, you need to understand. And that's where it's important for you to connect with the why, right? Not with the how, not with the what, right? How and the what comes later, but the strong why that can bring all of your team members to work with you and to work as one team and to perform to their highest levels, because they are connected with a purpose, they are connected with a shared vision, and they want to make the organization win, because they see that if the organization wins, they are also winning, and there is a shared purpose and vision that they are working on. So that's the number one principle for you to make a high performing team. What is number two? Number two is something which is very commonly spoken, but very easily misunderstood as well. What is that? It is diversion and inclusion. Now, a lot of leaders talk about diversion and inclusion, and one of the basic things they always think diversion and inclusion is just about different sex, right? Like male and female. If you have a good combination of both these genders, male and female, that's when you think, okay, this is a diverse team. And some leaders, when they go beyond that, they just think, Oh, what is diverse teams? Diverse teams are nothing but, apart from like gender, it is also about location, right? South India, North India, coming from different parts of the country, coming from different parts of the world. If people are working together, that's diversity, right? No, that's not the entire diversity. Diversity is much beyond that. Diversity is diversity in the thought process, right? Where you are bringing people from various segments of life, where you are bringing people with different, not only with different age group, not only with different gender, not only with different demographics, but also with different psychographics in the terms of coming with various experiences. Like, you are not always looking at people coming with say 10 or 15 or 20 years of experience. You have people with different years of experience, and you have people with different thought process and thinking, where they are openly contributing to your mission and vision, right? Diversity is a lot about, in terms of the culture, in terms about their experience, in terms about the thought process, in terms of about like different people, right, with different characters, like somebody who is like a heart driven and somebody who is a mind driven. I think that is also very important when you actually think of diversity and inclusion, right? You need to have people who are both these kind of things. You can't just have somebody who is intellectual, like you fill a lot of intellectuals your team, and you think, okay, you can win as an organization. No, right? Business and even like corporate success, whether it's a B2B, B2C, or whatever it is, right? It's a lot about emotions as well. Why do you think some of the greatest team members stay in your team or organization for a very long time? Do you think it's because of the money? Do you think it's because they are intellectual and they are able to build a lot of solutions? No, not all the time. It is more because they are emotionally connected. And that is also diversity and inclusion, where you are not only looking for people who are like who are intellectuals, but also you're looking for people who are heart driven. You're looking for people who are emotionally intelligent as well, right? You are looking for a combination of all of these, and you are actually including not only people from different segments, but also you are including the ideas that are coming up, right? You are actually including their inputs, right? That's coming from diverse voices, right? Different people have different voice, different thought process. You're taking all of it, and you are valuing every perspective that's coming from different people. Of course, there is a process where you filter things out. You don't take everything as it comes, but you are actually open to diversity, right? You're open to inclusion from all the different parts of the world, plus also the different thought processes, right? That is how you actually look at diversity and inclusion, right? This inclusion, let me tell you, will contribute to a stronger sense of belongingness among team members. If you are able to get diversity and inclusion, that will help in stronger sense of belonging among the team members. With that, let's jump into the principle number 3. And this is a very basic one, which is very important for all the corporate professionals. And this is nothing but effective communication. Communication is like the lifeblood of high performance teams. Why do you think a lot of conflicts happen in the teams? Why do you think there are a lot of confusions happening in the teams? Is it because of the skills, right? Is it because more of the technical skills or the domain knowledge and all? Think of it. Most of the times, it is because of the communication. If there is a gap in communication, somebody has communicated something, but the other person has understood in a different way, right? Somebody is talking something, but the other person has taken it from a different perspective. So what happens because of that? Because of this, there are a lot of conflicts that happen, a lot of confusions that happen. And because of that, the deliverables, when people don't understand the deliverables are different, and then the results are different. And because of that, there is a lot of chaos, and there's a lot of confusion and a lot of arguments, a lot of fights that happen within the team members, and that becomes a big challenge for any team or organization to win. So high performing teams are the one where communication is the key, right? Whether it is expressing your ideas, whether it is providing feedback or navigating any challenges, effective communication is something which is non-negotiable for any high performing team. So if you have to like train your teams on something which is like crucial for them to become high performing, it is the communication skill. right? Train them on the communication skills so that they are able to communicate the message in the right way, and they are able to understand the message in the right way. They are giving the feedback in the right way, and they are working together so that there are no conflicts or misunderstandings and confusions. That is one of the key factor for you to create a high performing team. With that, let's jump into principle number 4. What is principle number 4 to create a high performing team? It is nothing but resilience and adaptability. Now we all know, right? It's a fast changing world, right? Technology is changing, everything is changing. And in that, it's very important for any team to be resilient and high perform. When I say resilient, there might be projects which your team is working on, and the projects might fail. Your team should be resilient. Your team should be ready to take the setback. So for that, you need to work on the mindset of the team. You need to make them understand where, first of all, like even before you need to make them understand, let me tell you where the big challenge is and what is the biggest challenge that you need to resolve. The biggest challenge you need to resolve is, while you are recruiting as a leader, while you are recruiting team members, you need to recruit team members who have open mindset, who have growth mindset, right? Of course, skills are important, but more than skills, it's the attitude, it's the growth mindset that's important. I remember when I was working for some of the top corporates in the world, and for one of the corporates, while I used to recruit 365 days in a year because there were so many requirements, we had so many projects in hand, and it was difficult for me to get some of the niche skills, people for those niche skills. But what I always used to see and look in the candidate was their attitude. Is that a scarcity mindset or is it a growth mindset? Is it a fixed mindset or is it a growth mindset? Is it somebody who is operating from the place of giving abundance, right? Is the mindset right? And if I see that's there, the strong mindset, and if I know that person is resilient, that person has failed in their career, and that person knows how to fight back, how to actually see those setbacks and the challenges, opportunities, I would recruit these people, right? Because I know I can train them on the skills. Whereas if I pick up people who have wrong attitude, right, who do not know how to handle failures, but they know how can actually they work on certain skills, I would actually like still test them on multiple things rather than picking them up immediately, right? So that's how you need to make a decision while hiring, because hiring is an important decision. When you make the right decisions in hiring, that's where you can actually get people with the right attitude. And resilience and adaptability is very important. Adaptability is nothing but being adaptable, right? Today everything is agile. When you are delivering projects also, it's agile. So your team has to be adaptable. If there are some changes, dynamic changes, because everything is dynamic today, the team has to be able to adapt and also be resilient. So that's number 4. What is number 5? Number 5 is leadership that inspires. Now if you have to create high performing teams, how do you create high performing teams if you are not a high performer as a leader? Think of this. Like if you see the high performers in terms of even sports, right? Why do you think such high performers in sports, some of them are so high performers, right? Because of what about, like, if you have to take the example of Williams sisters, Serena Williams and Venus Williams, why do you think they are high performers in sports? Because their parents were high performing, right? So similarly, as a leader, if you see a team is high performing, you can go and look at their leader is also usually high performing. So if you want to create high performing teams, you as a leader must be high performer, right? You are somebody who should be able to inspire people through your actions. You are the one who should be walking the talk. You are the one who should be an action taker, not a procrastinator. You are the one who should show courage in making decisions. You are the one who should be decisive, right? You are the one who should be like having the attitude of being able to take failures and still be calm and composed and take it to the next level, right? So when you are a leader that can inspire, that's when you can create high performing teams. So to summarize, if you have to create high performing teams, there are 5 principles and 5 things that you need to know. Number 1 is shared vision and purpose. Number 2, diversion and inclusion. Number 3, effective communication. Number 4, resilience and adaptability. And number 5, leadership that inspires. I hope these 5 points can help you to create high performing teams. And I would love to see you to create those high performing teams and become that legendary leader. With that, we close for this day. And I'll see you soon on the next episode of LLB with Fatah Khan. Thank you so much for listening and see you soon.